Okay, one last problem we're going to talk about is, again, two binomials multiplied by each other. Notice this one has an A and a B, so it's got a variable in both the first and the second terms. So we're going to do the same method we did yesterday. I'll show you the other method when we're done. So we're going to take this term right here, basically treat that as one big thing, and we're going to distribute the 5a plus 3b to this a, and then we're going to distribute 5a plus 3b to negative 2b. So I'm going to put this out in front because it's easier to work with out there. So I have a times a quantity, then I do what my 5a plus 3b, and then I'm going to take my negative 2b, I'm going to multiply it by 5a plus 3b. And now when we do this, I'm going to distribute this a, both of those terms. So I have 5 times a, or a times 5a, which is going to give me 5a squared. And then I have a times 3b. So I end up with 3 and 1a and 1b. Moving over to this one, I'm going to distribute negative 2b to this term and to this term. So negative 2b times 5a. The 5 and the negative 2 go together, so I have negative 10. And then I have an a and a b again. And I'm going to put them in alphabetical order there. So I have AB. So now I have negative 2b times 3b. So my negative 2 times my 3 is negative 6. And then I have a b and a b, which gives me my b squared. Again, we look to see if we can combine like terms. These two terms are actually alike. We've got an AB here and an AB here. There's no other a squared term, so I'm going to leave that. I'm just going to move it down. 5a squared. It's all by itself. And then I have 3 ABs here and negative 10 ABs here. So I end up with 3 and a negative 10 is negative 7. And my term is AB. And then I have negative 6b squareds. I can't combine it with anything else. So I just write negative 6b squared, and that's my answer. Okay. Now we're also going to talk about the method that we did, that I showed you in the other video, where it's called FOIL or the claw method or double distributing. So I'm going to take this term here and I'm going to distribute it to both terms. I'm going to claw it over there. And then I'm going to take 3b and distribute it to the a and the negative 2b. So it's kind of clawing it over there. When I do that, I'm going to have 5a times, first term over here is a. And if you watch my last video, I discussed that this is your first term and this is your first term. And so if we're going to talk FOIL here, then we're going to do our outers. So our outer terms are 5a and negative 2b. It's also distributing that 5a to the last term there. So I have 5a times negative 2b. And then FOI, I is your inners, the two terms on the inside here. That's the same thing as distributing 3b to the a. So I'm going to write that as plus 3b times a. And then I'm going to take that 3b and multiply it by the last term. These are both the last terms of two binomials. So that's the L in the FOIL. So I have plus 3b times negative 2b. Okay, writing this all out, I'm going to combine my 5a times a, which is 5a squared. Here I have 5 times negative 2. So actually, I'm going to erase that and put in a negative because this will end up being 5 times negative 2, which is negative 10. AB, it's an AB term. And then here I have 3b times a, which is just 3ab. My last term, I have a negative 2, so I'm going to do negative 6 and then b squared. Combining my like terms in here, I have 5a squared, no other a squared terms, negative 10 and 3 is negative 7ab minus 6b squared. And again, you have the same answer either way. Good luck, guys.